If it feels like no matter what you do, YouTube just isn't pushing out your videos like they should be, this is gonna be the best video that you've ever watched, because by the end of it, you're gonna know about 5 things that you need to do every single time that you upload and settings that you need to be checking to make sure that YouTube actually gives you the views that you deserve. And hint, this doesn't mean that you need higher quality videos. In fact, I just helped this creator gain over 350,000 subscribers by implementing these tips, and these are the same tips that helped me monetize my new YouTube channel in just 2 weeks. And the same exact thing could happen to you so long as you start doing these things. The first thing that you need to make sure you're doing is you need to make sure that after you upload a video on YouTube that you go through and you respond to old comments. You could respond to comments that you're getting on that new video, you could respond to any comments that you've gotten recently, or you could even go back to any old comments that you have and begin replying to those comments again or seeing if anybody else replied again. And the reason that you want to do this is going to get people to come back onto YouTube, come back onto your YouTube page, and then guess what ends up happening as a result? As a result of that, YouTube is then going to show your new piece of content to those people, and these people more likely than not are going to be the first people to see your content, and that's a good thing. Why? Because you responded back to them. Imagine if your favorite YouTuber or your favorite celebrity responded back to you. Well, you might be that person in some people's eyes, or you might be the underdog that they're rooting for, and then you responding back to them is actually going to get them back to your posts and watching for longer. Now here's an example of how you could actually do that. So let's say that I was going to upload a video right now on this new channel. I would come over to community right here and I would begin responding to everybody that I haven't responded to. In addition to that though, because you could see right here, it says I haven't responded. I'm also going to go to responses with new replies, and then this is going to show everybody that has recently replied back to me. And then what I could do is reply back to them. And then once I'm done with that, I can come over to I responded and I can follow up with these people and leave another response. And again, this is going to increase the reach that you get on your new content and on your old content where you're actually replying to the comments. In fact, you could see I literally reply to almost every single comment that I get on this channel, and that's why it's grown so quickly and gotten monetized so quickly. Now, the second thing that you need to make sure you're doing is if you have more than 50 subscribers, you need to start taking advantage of vertical lives. I cannot emphasize this enough. Creators that are doing vertical lives are getting more views on YouTube, they're getting way more subscribers on YouTube, and they're getting monetized way faster. Why? Because you're training viewers to actually watch your long form content. In addition to that, going live for an hour or going live for 2 hours is way easier than actually creating a long form video on YouTube. So this is the easiest way right now for you to be able to get a lot of subscribers and a lot of views from people that like watching long form content. In addition to that, creators that do these vertical lives typically make a lot of money on YouTube. So I would strongly suggest that you begin implementing this into your strategy, but there are a few things you need to make sure that you're doing with this. First and foremost, you need to make sure that your live is on a topic that your ideal viewer actually wants to see. If not, they're not going to get shown it. Secondly, you need to make sure that you have a normal title for your live, not just something like, hey, I'm live, or I'm answering questions. It needs to be a normal title like you would do on a regular video. You also need to make sure that you have a thumbnail like you would on a regular video, because what this is going to do is make your live live forever. Instead of you just getting views while you're on live for that hour or those 2 hours, your video is going to continue to get views. It can even rank for search, and you might get views from the homepage for an incredibly long period of time. In fact, I've seen so many small creators on YouTube go live one time and end up getting 50,000 views, 100,000 views, even 1 million views, and it completely changes their life. And on top of that, you need to make sure that you're going live for at least 45 minutes, but ideally 1 to 2 hours, because this is going to maximize the amount of time people actually spend on that live, and then YouTube is going to be heavily incentivized to push out that content. Now, the third thing that you need to make sure you're doing is you need to make sure that you are previewing your content before you actually upload it to YouTube. And what I'm talking about is knowing what it's going to look like versus your competitors' content. Because if you don't know this, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be posting content not taking into consideration your competitors' content, and you might actually be wasting your time because maybe your title wasn't as good as your competitors, or maybe your thumbnail wasn't as good as your competitors, or maybe your video was the wrong length, and those things are going to destroy your reach, and you could have actually fixed them before you uploaded them. And you think that YouTube is being unfair to you right now, but in reality, you just didn't do the thing that your viewers actually wanted to see. And by the way, after I show you this, there are still 2 other settings, and they are only going to get more and more important, because if you're not paying attention to these next 2 things, it's the reason you're not getting views right now. Now here's how you're actually going to do that. What you need to do is you need to upload your video to YouTube. It needs to have the title on it, it needs to have the thumbnail on it, it needs to have all of that on it. Then you are going to come over here, right here, where it says what search term do you want to rank for. Now this video right here, I wanted to rank for the Instagram algorithm, so I'm going to type in right here, Instagram algorithm, and I'm going to be able to preview what this is going to look like in the search results. And I'm going to be able to do it for the search results. I'm going to be able to do it for a home screen. I'm going to be able to do it on a computer, on a tablet, on a phone, so that I can actually see what it's going to look like. In addition to that, I can change the title around if I wanted to in this view, and I can also change the thumbnail around to see how this actually affects things. And what you want to make sure of is that your video is going to be bright, it's going to stand out, and that everything is actually big enough in it for people to actually click on your video. And what this does right here is actually compares your content against your competitors. If we get rid of this, it's going to compare it to just anybody, and I'll see that I have Elon Musk and Joe Rogan up here, or I have my other channel up here, or I have Gary V down here, and a bunch of other people. So I'm going to keep this on where it's comparing it against my competitors. I'm going to come over to the search screen and I'm going to scroll down and make sure that it actually stands out. Now I think that mine stands out pretty well, and that's why this video is going to get a lot of views over the next month or over the next few months, because it's very bright, it's very big, it's updated for March, and none of these other videos are like that, which is why people are predominantly going to click on my video versus my competitor's video. Now, if that wasn't the case, I would want to go through and I would want to change my title, or I'd want to change my thumbnail to make sure that my video sticks out. And you don't only want to just check this for the computer view, you also want to check it for the phone view, because the majority of people on YouTube are actually going to view your content from a mobile device. So you need to make sure that it sticks out, everything's big, everything stands out, because otherwise you aren't going to get views on YouTube. And I cannot emphasize this enough. This is a secret weapon where you are now able to see what your video is actually going to look like against your competitors' videos to see what your viewers actually see. And you can get started with vidIQ at the pinned comment below. In fact, I have an exclusive offer for you. You can get 30 days access to vidIQ for just $1. This is an absolute no-brainer. It is going to help you get more views, it's going to help you get more subscribers, and it's going to help you get monetized on YouTube. In fact, I would have never gained over 800,000 subscribers on this channel or got monetized on my new channel in just 2 weeks had it not been for vidIQ, which is why I strongly suggest you go to the pinned comment below and register for it right now. Now, the next thing that you need to make sure you're doing is you need to make sure you have a visual hook in the beginning of your content. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you do not give somebody a reason to watch your content in the first 3 seconds visually, they are not going to watch your content. Instead, they're going to scroll by. Instead, they're going to swipe by, and as a result, you're going to think that the YouTube algorithm hates you, but the truth is that you just didn't capture people's attention, and another post captured their attention. And this is only going to get more and more difficult if you don't learn right now exactly what this looks like. Now, to really highlight this for you, I wanted to show you how a few other creators do a really good job at it. So this player right here is playing Warzone. If you don't know what that is, they're playing Call of Duty. Now, instead of just showing some random view, they show when they're deploying from a parachute in the beginning of the video. Why? Because that is incredibly engaging, and they're running up on somebody right here. So in the first 3 seconds, we know things are moving fast, there's gonna be a lot of action, and that captures a lot of people's attention, which is why people keep watching this video. If we come over to the next video right here, what do we see? We see a car approaching us. Again, this is going to grab our attention. And what we notice here is that this is like a $5 million car, and then there's a cheaper car behind them, and it looks like it's coming even closer to them. So what is this going to do? This is going to capture our attention, and it continues to capture our attention because we think that somebody is going to hit this car right here. Now again, if we keep scrolling down, this captures people's attention. There's a quick screen change. She's pointing at you, looks like she's yelling, and they have text on the screen. All of these things that these creators are doing are why these videos are getting a lot of reach, because if they had something boring in the beginning, we would have just swiped on by, we wouldn't have been interested, and then YouTube thinks nobody's interested in the content. You could do the same exact thing in your long form content also. Which brings me to the last thing that you need to make sure that you're doing. And that is that you need to make sure that the content that you're uploading is the right length. This is the biggest mistake I see small channels make right now on YouTube. I go and check their channel to do an audit or to help them in my mentorship program. And what do I see? They are uploading content that is too short. You need to understand something. The number one metric that YouTube is looking at, besides the fact that you're creating content that people actually want to watch, is how long they're spending watching it. And the easiest way for you to be able to maximize this is going to be simply creating your content content a little bit longer than your competitors. But you're probably wondering, Rob, how do I know how long my competitors' videos are, or how long I have to make my videos? And YouTube actually has a really simple tool for this. So all you have to do is come into your YouTube studio, you're going to come into analytics right here, you're going to come into trends, and then you're going to type in the topic of your video. For this video, we've been talking about my Instagram algorithm video, so I'm going to type in Instagram algorithm, and you want to make sure of a few things. First and foremost, you want to make sure this says very high interest. If this does not say very high interest, you need to come up with a new video for you to be able to create. But in addition to that, if we come down here to what people are watching, we're going to click on show all right here. We're going to click on videos, and this is going to show us how long these videos actually are. So what do we see? 11 minutes. 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes. So how long did I make my video? A little bit longer than 12 minutes. Why? Because then it's longer than all these videos. So hopefully it gets more watch time than all these videos. And then as a result, YouTube is going to push my content out over theirs. And you can do the same exact thing for shorts. If we come over here, 24, 31, 24, 34, 25, 24. So what should you not do if you're uploading a video on this topic? You should not make it 12 seconds long. And you should not make it 60 seconds long, because literally every single video under here is 24 to 35 seconds long. So that's how long YouTube thinks the video on this topic should be. So you should be uploading content that is actually going to hit that, because if not, YouTube is going to show your content to the wrong people or show your content to nobody. And then you're going to be watching a video like this that explains all the things you're doing wrong. Now, if you're still struggling to grow on YouTube, but you know you want to be able to make a full-time living the same way that I help Mike make tens of thousands of dollars a month from YouTube, or how I just monetized my brand new YouTube channel in just 2 weeks, well, I personally want to work with you. In fact, I want to work with you one-on-one. I want to tell you exactly what to post, what titles to use, what thumbnails to use, what to change in your content, and even what scripts you should be using in your content. If that sounds interesting, well, please check out this video right here where it explains the 3 different ways that we can work together one-on-one so I can guarantee you grow quicker on YouTube. That sounds interesting? I'll see you over there.